Fifi, do you love me? Fifi, do you love me? Real Rap, episode 5. Tonight we got a classic. We ain't even start yapping yet. And we got a classic already.
Baby.
I'm joined by the queen of the panel, part-time basketball analyst, expert, Drea from the Bay. Drea, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, but I just want to let you know this is episode 6.
Episode 6. I done fucked up already. But it's all right. We can edit that out. I'm also joined by Mr. John Hardy. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, brother. How about yourself?
I'm chilling. John Hardy, as you all know, we already did an interview. John Hardy is an astro enlightenment coach slash author. He's a great guy, and I really hope you guys cop his book when it comes out. John, tell him the name of your book. If you're still working on it, then keep that on the low.
The book is Salt and Water for the Soul, and it's actually being processed to be edited and proofreading.
Big facts, and I appreciate you joining me, sir. Fifi, do you love me? The last special guest on my panel, the first time I'm actually really speaking to him face to face. He deserved, you already know who he is. Super Sly.
Don't do me like that, bro.
He's known, he's well respected all throughout the YouTube community, and I'm truly honored and blessed that he would join my raggedy ass 100 subscriber channel. Show some love to Super Sly 75, man.
No, I'm happy to be here. I'm honored, man. Thank you. No, it's a privilege to, when people request, So yeah, gotta honor the request. So I'm happy. Thank you. I'm honored.
Anytime, man. Now, first topic, you guys already know the name of the live stream show is called Real Rap. First topic we're gonna get into, just to lighten everything up before we get into that heavy shit. It's gonna be, I want to know what John Hardy and Super Sly 75. I want to know who their favorite artist of all time is, and I also want to know what their favorite verse is from that artist. John Hardy, you want to take that first?
Yeah, I'm not going to get all into the verses, but I'm definitely from Brooklyn. You know what I mean, born and raised. So my top 5 is always the Dead or Alive. I gotta say Biggie, number 1. I gotta say Tupac, number 2. I gotta say Nas, number 3. Jay-Z, number 4.
Wow.
And my last is a shot being thrown. Listen, Jadakiss.
Yes, top 5 DOA.
Now, when you get technical with that, you really want to get technical. That's personal view, you know what I mean? That's my personal view. That's even as a just growing up New York and everything. But you got a lot of artists out there. You got Big Pun that can go on that list because he was out before him. You know what I mean? He was out before. So when you go with legendary and everything, but I'm gonna just stick to my guns. Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas, Jadakiss.
Now, what's your favorite verse off a Biggie song? Well, out of all the catalog Biggie, put out, do you have a favorite verse from him?
In the doorway, been that 4-4.
Okay, shit. You got any more bars for us? So that's it.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to. You might try to Jadakiss me on here. I mean, Fat Joe me.
Super Sly, I'm curious to know who your favorite rapper or who your favorite artist of all time is, sir.
Now we're talking strictly rappers, right?
We're talking about artists of all time. It don't matter what genre.
Oh well, shit. Let me scratch some of these niggas off real quick. All right.
Writers.
All right. Now we're just strictly talking artists of all genres. For me, number one is Jimi Hendrix.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Took it way back.
Yeah.
Salute.
Number 2, Hip hop wise, I'm gonna go with Nas, just because like Rakim to me is like he's on the Mount Rushmore. Like some of these guys, and when we name our top 5, top 10, some of these guys don't even need to be mentioned in top 10. Like your Cubes, your Rakims, your G Raps, even KRS-One. Those guys to me are like Mount Rushmore. Like they just go without saying. Now your Biggie, Nas, Jay Z's, those guys you can mention, but for me out of that class, I'm gonna go with Nas. And if I had to do like a two B, it would be Big L right behind him. So that's Nas is my number 2, just out of hip hop period.
Facts.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson.
Oh, shit, Drea. That's Drea. That's Drea.
And then number 4, I'm gonna go James Brown. Now, normally I would have James Brown before Michael, because to me James Brown was the blueprint. Like without James, there's no Michael. And then just musically, what James did, he would find his guys money if they were missing beats on, literally during the performance. He'd count off and he'd come off the show and be finding the guys like, you missed this, you missed this, you missed that. I mean, just genius, musically genius.
Right.
Number 5. Ooh. Shit. Put me on the spot with this one. You really put me on the spot, bruh. Honestly. I'm gonna go Phyllis Hyman. And the reason why I say Phyllis Hyman, because we never got to see her really hit her peak. I think she was gone. She was taken from us way too early. For me, as a young kid, I remember her. Like I remember the low cut dresses and the hats, and this woman was 6 feet tall, and I was like, oh. Like she started my fascination for tall women. So those are my 5 artists. Those are my. Yeah, Phyllis was bad, man. I mean, and but aside from psychological issues she had, and she had some bad people around her and stuff, like she was taken far too early. So those are my 5.
Now I'm about to go listen to Phyllis Hyman, because I'm.
Yeah.
You feel me?
She go back to like 96. Like, yeah, Phyllis Hyman was definitely. And I agree with him with the Nas aspect. Nas actually was voted the top lyricist of all time rap. I believe that was in the Vibe magazine.
Wow. Yo, Dre, you want to remind everybody of your favorite artist?
Well, you already said it. It's Michael. Michael's my favorite artist of all time, bar none. I mean,
Thriller.
there's other people I would put up there. I love Whitney, but Michael's the truth for me. So yeah, I'm going with MJ.
And you got a favorite song from Michael?
I have way too many favorite songs from Michael, so it's really hard for me to choose like the favorite.
If you want an island, what are you listening to all day?
If I had to actually choose a song, it's really hard, but I would go with "Man in the Mirror" as my favorite MJ song. Oh, and a close second would be "Dirty Diana."
Okay. All right, shit. I see you. Shit, everybody know. I mean, I told everybody last week my favorite artist of all time, all around artist of all time is Biggie Smalls, and my favorite lyricist of all time is Nas. My favorite Biggie verse came off of the Juicy track, and yeah, man, that's pretty much me, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all for sharing. I'm about to go check out some Phyllis Hyman as soon as we over here.
Get a bottle of wine to go with that. Always gotta have a bottle of wine to go.
Red or white?
Red. Nighttime.
Steak.
Put the steak with it.
Put the steak with it.
Super Sly know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. He was with his girl at that time, and she was in him. Yeah. Good days. Those are good days.
All right, well, shit. Let's get into it. We got a couple of topics we're gonna discuss tonight. I wanted to bring in everything with something light, but I really want to give the audience I want them to leave with a lot of enlightenment tonight. So the first thing I'm gonna bring in, are you guys familiar with that I want to say it was a speech, or that situation where that female came out and she made that speech about how pedophilia is should be looked upon as a sexual orientation, and it should be accepted by society. Are you guys familiar with
Yeah.
My nephew just told me about that today. I got one question for
that? Go ahead, John. Take it.
What color is she?
I'm pretty sure she was. I'm not. I don't know exactly what she was, but she was a white woman.
She was white, right?
You already know.
Super slide. Come on, man. See, you know what? I'm gonna give you my theory on this. It's just a theory. Allegedly, you know what I mean? They promoting this because they getting caught doing it the most, just like they did cocaine versus crack back in the day. They were. How can you put this even on the agenda for a topic? Not you, but you know what I mean, them, for a topic of discussion. And it's just like when crack came out. Crack came out because they said coke was a rich man high. So people was catching misdemeanors for the coke. We was getting 75 years for the crack. So,
well, part of it goes a little deeper than that. You gotta understand, like, if you're gonna take white people at their greatest height of civilizations, it was the Greek and the Romans, and that's what they were into. And truth be told, that's the sad reality, or that's the ugly truth that nobody wants to talk about. That's where your pederasty comes from, which founded the Catholic Church. Um, your Greco-Roman wrestling, that's where that came from. You used to wrestle naked, before, and as the original Olympic sport. This is what they do, and the pedophilia shit, it goes so far up the top of the food chain. Like, this is a lot of their culture. Is they this is what they do, and to normalize it, you gotta introduce it slowly into the masses, to where it's a point. Now they call it minor attracted persons. That's the new term. That's the new psychological term. Is called minor attracted persons. And if you look at a lot of your laws that are geared towards this type of act with children, and look no further than James Gunn tweets, like the comments I had under my video, it's a lot of people that's cool with this shit. That's the scary part. It's a lot, and I mean a lot of people that are okay with this, and this is disturbing. And you got groups like NAMBLA, so eventually they're going to get laws passed where this is going to be a normal thing.
Now, Sly, I know a lot of people are familiar with this gun situation, but is there any way you could, just enlighten people on what exactly happened there?
Oh yeah, so he got fired from Marvel. He just wrapped up he just wrote the third script for the script for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I know they do principal photography in September, so they're kind of rushing to find a director to take his place. But he made a bunch of tweets roughly about 10 years ago, and they were pretty suggestive as far as man-child relationships. A lot of it, people were brushing off as dark humor and just edgy comedy. But mind you, this man was 41 years old when he made these tweets 10 years ago. So, people are deflecting and making excuses. Well, he was, it was 10 years ago. People change. No, this is what Hollywood does. The Corey Haim and the Corey Feldmans told us years ago about how, Nickelodeon, Disney, you see all these Disney kids trying to kill themselves, taking drugs because they all get touched on. The one guy that used to work for Nickelodeon, the fat guy that was on the TV show, he was head of TV development for the children's shows. He recently got fired because he was touching too many people. This thing goes so far up the chain, and like I said, to eradicate this situation or this mindset, you would have to get rid of millions of people. That's how many people that are really down with this shit like that. So it's coming to light. We're in the age of information and everything, but I think we all should get prepared for this, being a sexual orientation. In our lifetime, we'll see it. We'll see it in our lifetimes for sure.
If you go deeper into these cartoons, like even outside sexual perversion, child molesting, there's a lot of hidden subliminals in these cartoons. Like if you look at the castle, they actually got a penis like in there. And then if you go deeper into a lot of the one with the Lion King. And when he was on on a mountain. He swapped this hand paw on a mountain and it spelled the word sex. So you go back to Mickey Mouse. A lot of these cartoons had a lot of sexual subliminal hidden message in them. So you're right about that, good brother.
I mean, yeah, and you know it's funny. The cartoons nowadays they're so blatant. I was watching a cartoon the other day, and it had the little ghost, and he had two dads. And I was just like, what? And Steven Universe is pretty bad. I had to stop my kid from watching Steven Universe. Like that's just
Oh, the dog,
it's
the talking dog. What about the talking gay?
yeah.
The
Wow.
talking gay
It's
dog.
crazy.
If you
And
look
even
at a
when we
lot of
watch,
shows, guys,
no, I was saying even when we watch the older cartoons, you start to see things. Now it's like, holy cow, I see that. And back then, it was in our subconscious. We didn't realize it. You know, we're 10, 11 years old. But now, as an adult, you know what to look for, and it's shocking.
if you look at
You
Betty
know,
Boops alone, dropping her panties all the time. Now let's go deeper than that. I'm gonna tell you where the manipulation came in. Betty Boop dropping her panties. So that's a sexual subliminal alone. You know, as a kid, I know me personally, we all was like watching, and we didn't look at it like that. We didn't look at it like it was sex. You know what I mean. But the subliminal sexual thing is her dropping her panties. But nobody know Betty Boops was an actual jazz singer from Harlem.
I want to welcome in Matt. It's another great brother of mine. What's up, Matt? How you doing tonight, man?
Hey y'all, what's up? I'm a little late joining in, but I picked a weird time to join us.
Now, piggybacking off of these two brothers, how you feel about these what's going on?
Okay, so I seen the video where the woman was essentially trying to promote pedophilia, and in my opinion, if society can't protect children from predators, then we're in trouble because kids, they're innocent, and an adult should know better. And I just have no sympathy for anyone that like commits those acts or even promotes it.
There's a report back in 1974. It was a guy named Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That report is deep, like where he was saying it was good for the children. And like I said before, just even entertaining the conversation, more or less making it a law, is disturbing to me. You know what I mean? Entertaining the conversation is just it shows that they need permission from the public, and there's an influence, like I said, just through the cartoon, the media, the rap industry, the music industry. There's an influence to promote certain agendas. Like there's a lot of agendas outside of pedophilia. There's like,
well, one thing we're seeing right now is with the internet is it's giving everyone a platform and a megaphone.
right.
So even crazy people now have a megaphone, and so in my opinion, I think it's a very small population, hopefully, but because we live in a time where information spread throughout, and a lot of times people get popular for the wrong reasons. I think that's one of the negatives that we're seeing from the internet is even like minority, really like far out there thinking groups are now like reaching a lot of people. And as someone who doesn't believe any of that, it makes you wonder and doubt. Like it makes you wonder like how many people actually believe this. I don't think it's that many, but because like it's being spread out there, it's a lot of unknowns.
I agree with you. I don't think a lot of people believe it, but it's being, it's being promoted. It's being marketed. It's
right.
Like, it's almost like a test trial. Let's see how many people are going to do it, and if the majority of the people go for it, then we're going to try it out. But
well, I'll give you a good example. You have a lot of music on YouTube. YouTube's based on views, and the views, you could get views for the wrong reasons. So people might be sharing the song because they think it's horrible. But now this person has millions of views, and now they're getting attention, and now we're promoting bad music.
Right.
So it's essentially rewarding attention, whether it's good or bad.
That's a fact. And you know, Sly, let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna go to Drea. But with this being the age of Aquarius, shouldn't the truth tellers be praised more? Shouldn't us in this small intimate circle right now, shouldn't we be being praised a little bit more?
Yes and no. My thing is, when I ask people, I ask them, what are you doing this for? Are you doing this for money? Are you doing this for recognition? Do you want a pat on the back? Because let's be honest, this is a thankless job. And, when shit goes left, we're the first ones under the bus. Channels getting censored, especially the smaller channels. They don't touch the bigger ones because they're all in cahoots to a certain extent. And then, like me personally, I get phone calls, I get texts and emails saying, hey, you need to pull this video down. You can't talk about this. I mean, so, and I can only speak for myself because I'm closer to it than most people. So I have to preface my what I say nowadays, because there's things I want to accomplish, and I don't want anybody messing with that down the road. You're gonna get backlash. Either the people are gonna hate you for telling the truth, or you do tell the truth. You're not gonna get the credit you deserve. You're gonna get overlooked. They're gonna call you crazy now, or they're gonna call you fake media, like they're trying to do now. So it's a slippery slope. Like if you want to engage in this, in this this thing that we're doing, be prepared for the worst. And a lot of times your own people are going to reject you, family, friends. This is why you can't just go running off at the mouth and spouting everything that you learn. Because I get it. When people come into knowledge, they get so excited, they want to tell everybody. It's like, don't do that, because you're going to offend a lot of people. And a lot of people want to stay asleep. And I let them sleep. So what you can do is just, get up with like-minded people and then share information that way. But we're trying to wake people up out of their slumber, because some people don't like that,
But what? I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
So you definitely can't please everybody. That's an uphill battle. You will never win. What you can do is take other people's opinion, especially negative, like with a grain of salt. And really the most important thing is communication. If you can just have a conversation with people that don't agree with you, as long as we're like civil, that's the best way for ideas, the good ideas, to spread. But if we can't even have a conversation with people that don't think the same, then we're in trouble.
I kind of agree with what Super Sly said. This is a YouTuber from the Bronx. He said, it was funny. He said the same thing. And he said he started receiving emails from people telling him to take certain things down. He never take nothing down. He was just like, I forgot his name, but he just like, it's your boy such and such, and today I'm going. So that dude, y'all might know who I'm talking about. And when he go in hard. Spanish guy's background is nice and everything. He got like a drop background or whatever the case may be. But for me to watch him, said like he got email, texts, but he went with it. He was just like, sometimes if you want to get up there, now I'm gonna make a point with it. If you want to get to that top spot, yeah, you gotta respect, because technically speaking, it's legal laws of defamation and things like that come into if you're going up there to the top, and if you want to make it to the top, take this down because you could be sued, so forth and so on. Using people's names, you need permission to put photos up. You just can't, which is the law. But here's the news flash. Things, like he said, we're in the age of Aquarius, right? This is where things will be revealed. So now it's a question, like we coming out of the time of Christ era, and we're going into a spirituality era. That was the age of Christ, was the fishes, and now we're coming into the age of Aquarius, where things going to be revealed. If you notice, how many people got shot? Rappers being revealed for whatever, pastors being exposed, politicians and everything and stuff like that. The question is, like, how much are you willing to risk for somebody to tell you to take a video down? You know what I mean? Like other than the legal law, you know what I mean? But are you willing to risk, like, you can't make no money, you can't get up here with us, If you keep talking that, me personally, I'm not gonna say what I'll say, but I mean, and just in a nicely way of putting it, I'm not taking up the noun. I'm not taking up.
No, I ain't trying to be like Steve Coakley. And shout out to Steve Coakley, rest in peace. But they kidnapped that man and took out body parts, and he was in a hospital, and they tortured that man. And if it wasn't for Steve Coakley, we wouldn't know about the Boule, we wouldn't know about Jesse Jackson. I'm not willing to die for this shit. I got a kid to raise. I got a family. I'm not trying to. And like I said, I would never try and minimize anybody's commitment level. My commitment level isn't that. It's not there.
But even on the simple level, I agree with you. That's why I say I kind of agree with you. Because even on the simple level, like they could send lawyers your way. You know what I mean? They could send lawyers your way, and then they can hit. These people own YouTube. They can hit YouTube and be like, "Yo, cancel his channel." That's what the dude was scared of, his channel being canceled. So I kind of understand it.
If we had a stronger support system within as far as each other, instead of depending on the government or a situation like that, if we depended on each other, if we leaned on each other, right, and we know we had each other's backs, do you think the attitude would be different?
Is it, you mean the attitude towards the people that's together, or the people that's against the people that's, you know what I mean?
Towards getting clapped when you speak up and when you're doing nothing but telling the truth.
Well, if it's see, the problem with all of that is unity. If everybody's together, there's gonna be a clap back. But it's hard to get people together in that atmosphere. It's hard to have a bunch of hypothetical Christians to speak the truth versus people on the corner smoking a drink. You know what I mean? It's hard to get a bunch of black people together in positivity. It's just hard to get positivity together in general. You know what I mean? So it's kind of really hard. So if somebody start rapping positive, the airplay is not going to allow that. If I make a track about credit repair, owning your own home, and loving your wife, it's not going on the radio. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, we need your pain. And I'm like, well, I ain't got no pain to give. I ain't got no pain to give. Like, I'm happy with my life, and I'm just trying to inspire this. Not look at XXXTentacion. Before he went out, what happened? He was talking all positive. So when you got people trying to bring the truth, positive, love, unity, if there's somebody that's trying to bring white and black together, you're going against the odds right there. Racism was created. Poverty was created. These things was created to divide and conquer. When you get them dividing, then there's a higher power that can always conquer both sides. You know what I mean?
Dre, do you feel like this whole system is set up and designed the way that we're just not really meant to unify?
On that note, I don't really know. Like, are you talking specifically about the system you're using, like this YouTube thing, or as a whole?
I mean, as far as like how society is set up, and all with all the programming, is it designed that
So,
we just genuinely won't be able to unite and what I mean, move forward
when I hear people talk about that, a lot of the time, some people say that the man is just keeping us down, or is trying to keep us down, or whatever. And like, no, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are kind of just really selfish and they're for themselves, so they don't really want to try to come together to create something, that's for everybody. So if I had to say someone or something's keeping, a collective down, sometimes I believe that's really just some of the people that are out there, they're keeping each other down. So, I mean, that's my point of view on it.
Anybody want to piggyback off of that?
So I would say whoever's the first to kind of stray away, they're going to be faced with resistance, some type of flack for not just following their group. So if you're saying things that's the opposite of what everyone else is saying, you're going to get resistance, especially the first group of people saying it. With that said, though, then it makes it easier for more people to come out and speak as well.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we had the Bill Coopers and Ted Grundersons, and they're all dead. And, because of their sacrifice, we now know things and how whatever plans and operations they have in place. And, but that's not enough. If everyone can make money off this, it wouldn't even be a question. Like, if you could get fame and fortune off telling the truth, it's a done deal. But I don't think in this dimension, this society, this planet, the good guys are going to win. You'll never convince me of that. Just go through society and the history of man. Period. The bad guys have always won. I'm sorry. People like to say, well, look what Haiti, got their independence. Yeah, okay, and look what it cost them. France still wants their money out of Haiti, and everyone has, embargoed the hell out of Haiti. Haiti's one of the poorest countries on the planet, but they got their independence. So I guess it was worth it. Was that a win-win? Was it worth? Like, I don't like to sound like a pessimist, but if you're gonna ask me, are the good guys gonna win, and whoever's gonna come back and right the wrongs of the evildoers, this is not gonna happen. I don't see it. I don't see that happening.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the main difference is it's not that there's not enough positivity, it's that the negativity is louder. So I think there's actually more positive people in the world than negative. It's just we're putting our attention to the negative, and that's what we hear the most because they're louder.
And people seem to thrive on dysfunction and drama. That's what sells.
That's true.
And so, going back, you got it. My fault. You got it.
No, I'm just saying they purposely lowered the vibration so that everyone functions at a base level. And yeah, I agree. But unfortunately, the negative people own the platform such as this, and they determine what gets out, how far it goes to a certain extent. I'm not saying they can clamp down on everything, but they can choke or minimize the impact to a certain extent, or the reach if need be. But I agree with everybody.
But going back to what you said, Sly, you said this is a thankless job. My question to you is, and then everybody, I would love your, opinion and your perception afterwards is, if this is a thankless job, why do you guys do this? Why do you tell the truth? Why bother?
Good question. For me, I got into this. It was like catharsis for me. It was a way for me to blow steam, and I like to tell stories, so I had some stories to tell, and then it kind of just took off on a life of its own. Like, I've had my channel since 2009, and I never really used it. And I put up one video in 2008, and hadn't done anything with it for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So I just now, like the last year and a half, really got hot and heavy into it. But for me, it's just my way of leaving my little mark on my little impact in the world. One day my daughter can watch my videos and be like, yeah, my dad was really on that stuff, and whatever the case may be, and people can see my little carbon footprint, my little video footprint, and as part of the legacy for me that I want to leave, the topic, the subject matters, things of that nature. I'm not in this for money, because it's YouTube. Like, who are we kidding? I'm not in this for pats on the back. I don't have an ego for this. Now, a lot of people normally come into this humble and meek and all that, but for some odd reason, when that channel gets bigger than what it is, heads get really, really big, and it's hard, and phone numbers change, and it's like, I never lose sight of who I am as a person. That's me speaking for me. I can't speak for anybody else.
And that's honorable. Just going back to it, I got 100 subscribers on my channel. This guy is known well across the YouTube community, man, and this is a prime example of this dude is just living his truth, man, and I appreciate it. John, Mr. John Hardy, why do you wake up in the morning and tell the truth?
I'm Uranus. You know what it is? I'm gonna be honest. Now we're getting back to the age of Aquarius, and I think I can speak for everybody when I say this. It's not a coincidence that we all on this panel together. You know what I mean? In this time, we're looking at a time where things being revealed. Okay, I believe everybody, especially from the way everybody's speaking, is technically in our DNA. We always been like this, but a lot of people didn't have a time to come out because either A, the platform, or B, the knowledge. So some of us was reserved to bring it out, or whatever the case may be. But like this time now, and going back to where the good brother said he wanted to play devil advocate, like versus his things. When he was talking about they got a chokehold on us, or whatever the case may be. Now, to me, that's about to be done with. Like when they say, why can't everybody be good on this earth? We in a time of, and when I mean revelation, I mean biblically speaking, although I can refer to that. But we in a time of things being revealed now. You know what I mean? So we in the truth age time right now. We went 2,000 years. Now we're in a whole new, we just in the beginning. So the things we're doing right now, it's going to be, like he said, there's people that when you make a certain amount of money or certain amount of views, they're going to be looking for you. Now, you know why they're doing that even more now? Because that time is dying down slowly. It's dying down, though. So there's going to be a lot of people telling the truth. You know why they don't want the truth out no more? Because when the truth come out, then nobody's going to be making money. If you go back in 2016 or 15, there was over 60 holistic doctors killed.
Yes.
For revealing the truth. You go back in the 80s on Wall Street, there was over so many Wall Street guys killed for revealing how easy to make money on Wall Street. See what I'm saying? So, but we coming in the time where, that's why I asked the question, like, what are the price anybody's willing to pay to tell the truth? You know, some people don't like the good brother said, like, you know, my daughter, whatever, a lot of people, but then some people just be like, I don't care. But like he said, as soon as they get up top and they don't know where they at, as soon as you get up top, you be like, whoa, this is more serious than what it is.
Nice. So,
but I believe in this time and era, without anybody help, the truth going to be revealed. The stars don't need nobody help for this. It's going to be revealed. There's nothing nobody can do about it. And like they both said, it's hard to capitalize off of it. So if you're doing it for money, yeah. If you're doing it out your heart and then play by the rules, you know, like I'm not trying to get sued or nothing, but I'm not worrying about nobody popping my head off. No, I'm gripped up for that. You're not coming in here doing nothing to my family, but at the same, and I don't care if it's the CIA president, you're not coming up in here with that. I'm going out, but it's just that you got to respect the That's why I brought it down to respecting the program, because there's legal laws that set in places, you know, that they get, like Charlemagne sent this legal aid out there,
right?
And they brought back material versus him doing something stupid towards this female. But the female came at him the same way, like, we're going to climb this ladder successfully, try to take him to Supreme Court. See what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Matt, why you wake up and tell the truth, bro?
For me, it has to do with you only have one life. And if I live to be old, I don't want to have regrets. And I know money comes and goes, but I choose to put legacy over currency.
Wow.
So for me, it's not about money. It's about the impact that I have on the world while I'm here. So that's why I tell the truth.
Bars, legacy.
I respect Matthew and Super Sly, because if you listen to them, they both said the same thing. He wanted to leave footprints. He want legacy over money. Now we coming with the inner truth. You know what I mean? Now we coming to a point where they both just saying money don't have nothing to do with it.
And at the end of the day, that's all you can sell people is the truth. You try to sell them something that's not the truth, they'll eventually find out, and you'll be exposed.
Yep. Even if you make money off of it, you can make money, you'll be exposed later on. You try to get more clients, they're gonna expose you. Facts.
Dre, I'm about to be on my Hotep shit. queen, the lovely mother goddess of the panel. Why do you wake up and tell the truth?
Well, out of everyone here on the panel, I'm, I guess, the newest one to the YouTube thing, and I don't and I don't really have like a YouTube channel going. I don't have any videos up or anything like that. So really, the only time people from the YouTube universe actually hear from me is when I'm on one of your shows. But and I keep it real. I tell the truth on there because that's just me, and and if I'm wanting to brand myself, that's kind of where I would be coming from in that brand. I'm a truth teller. um I want people to know the real, and I want them to have that get that realness from me. And just like I can keep it, I'm gonna keep it real and just let people know, hey, this is what it is. And I don't want to give you no fuss. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell the truth, and hopefully people can appreciate that, appreciate the real, so.
That's a fact. And I know you guys are gonna leave an amazing legacy, man, and that's why I invited you all here, man. I respect all of you. I want to get into this R. Kelly R. Kelly came out with a brand new song. It's called "I Admit." He's apparently confessing to a lot of a lot of things going on in the media that's been said against him. But I really want to, I've been listening to a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that make content on YouTube, and I really just want to skip past like the jokes and the funny shit. And my question to you guys is, as far as a solution, how do we heal, I'm gonna say allegedly, but pedophilia in the black community, or maybe in the community as a whole? How do we heal something like that? How do we attack the source and heal it so that a person that engages in that behavior, their offspring or their followers or supporters don't engage in that behavior as well? To anybody on the panel.
Let me. Well, first you have to acknowledge that it exists, and we are probably the best um, deniers of that. There's a story of a man who impregnated his 17-year-old daughter, and they're expecting their first child together. This is a brother, and down there in Florida,
Wow.
um, we all got some cousins or some aunties. Somebody was touched somewhere. We know that one or two relatives that come Christmas dinner, just be like, hey, don't mess with him too bad. We know what he do and all that. There's a lot of grown ass adults that have been molested, and the parents didn't believe them for whatever reason or didn't take action. We have to stop sweeping it under the rug and quit acting like only they do it. No, we do it to our own as well. And then once you do it, um, I don't know what the rehabilitation process would be, because that's a behavior you cannot undo. Once you've been touched like that and your shit's been rearranged on a not even a spiritual level, but just your chakras being aligned like that, when that's your first experience, you can't undo that. In my opinion, I you gotta treat it like a cancer. You're gonna cut the limb off. I don't know. I don't know how do I don't know how do you rectify the damage being done. Like perfect example is well, like you said, R. Kelly in the song, he got molested and then he went and did the same thing. So okay, it's not your fault, but now it is kind of your fault because you knew what happened to you,
Right.
and you knew it was wrong, and you still engaged, and you passing along to somebody else. The whole Africa Bambaataa situation. How long has he been doing what he's been doing, and yet still no one has want to acknowledge. It's a lot. It's and like I said, it's a culture for some people. What are you gonna do? You're gonna wipe them all out? Because that's the end result you have to do. You have to take out bloodlines of people, and I mean entire generations of people to eradicate that mindset, that behavior.
So Sly, you don't feel like personally there's a way that we can, individually heal that person, themselves to where that, we can heal the, the outcome of that, the effects of it, the ripple effects of it.
I would say if you catch it early, if you catch the victim early and have them process, talk about it, therapy sessions, you may curb it down the road. But if you don't catch it
Okay.
early, then what? You know?
Right.
If I may bring something in here. Um I agree with him. And I just want to piggyback off that and say, he says catch it early. My thing is, we've got to start believing the kids. We got to start believing them when they tell us, oh, that they've been touched or somebody in the family's touched them. Because there's been way too many times and examples of when a child goes to their parent or their mom and say, your boyfriend touched me, and the mom doesn't believe them. They want to kick the child out or just, don't believe that kid and just let that continue to happen. And then that kid's gonna end up with a whole host of issues and things. And like you said, some of those kids they grew up to be abusers because this was normalized to them. So like you said, catch it early, stop it when it happens, or at least believe the kid, or at least take the time to kind of investigate what that child said. And don't, like you said, don't try to sweep it under the rug, do something about it, So yeah, that's what I just want to add my 2 cents with that.
How you feel about that, Mr. John Hardy?
Preventative care is better than curing a disease. So, I'm not blaming no parents, but what you teach your child and how you protect your child should be your ultimate goal in life. You know what I mean? I believe at least 60%, and I'm being nice, of these situations could have been prevented. Let's take RKelly for instance. RKelly was with the name he married, that 15-year-old girl Dame Dash was with. The mother, yeah, the mother approved it. You know what I mean? So we getting back to that now. So when you look at a lot of these situations, even a girl that, most of the recent girls, some of the mothers knew it. They're like, oh, you with RKelly or whatever. So you got the mindset of a mother selling, and then the father's missing in a lot of these situations. But you got the mindset of a mother selling her dream to her daughter. And I don't mean monetary wise. I just mean like, I wish I was in that shoe. So yeah, go for it. You got mothers today being friends with their daughters. They're going to clubs with their daughters. These are gateways. These are portals. Like, these are lower dimensioning mentalities that open the door for the structure that's already set up. I'm not blaming nobody for the structure, but the structure is there. When you got somebody in the political figure trying to put a law for pedophilia, that should have been an eye opener, and that was back in 1974. But now we coming back to that again. You know what I mean? So we just gotta. The smartest thing is protect your own. I don't know how to put that in a format of structure, but it's not simple. I mean, technically it is simple, but you got kids being influenced through music, media, so forth and so on, or whatever the case may be. But it's and then the fatherless child and everything. But it's just that thin line of communication. Like she said, Drea said, like, if somebody says something, don't throw that to the side and be like, oh, she's just lying. So
That's a fact. Real quick, I want to go to the chat. I want to shout out Unknown Truth, and I want to shout out Tim. Sly. I don't know how to pronounce your boy's last name, but I definitely want to give him a shout out for coming through, man. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate all you guys watching. Matt, you had you want to piggyback off of that? You had an opinion on that?
So my opinion's pretty much similar. If you have children, then of course raising them to know that it's a bad thing, so they don't grow up and do the same. Also, publicly denouncing any types of acts like that, and then the final thing I would say is like going back to like the woman trying to promote it. Like to me, the rebuttal would be all the victims. So like all the people that have been raped or molested. How many of them think it was a great thing? Probably none. Like they were all victims. in situations where they had no control, no power. So the main thing is just as an individual, completely denounce it.
Facts. Dre, you want to add to that?
I just wanted to say, in the same vein as making mental health normal, I feel like the same thing with survivors of abuse and things like that. You need to make it normal for them to ask for help, to be able to, get counseling, things like that, because people need it. I feel like you gotta, something like abuse, you have to work through. And if we want to say there's the solution in counseling, I'm not sure it could help, but it's worth a shot. We got to make that normal to actually, and even the people who are abusers, they need that counseling too, not just jail. They need counseling as well.
And personally, I want to say, it's a spiritual thing. I believe everybody can be helped. I'm never going to go away from that. If somebody's on crack, somebody kills somebody, somebody raped, child molest, I believe everybody can be helped in one way or nothing. But it's always these like fake programs, like the hospital to put you on some drugs to cure something that's going to lead to more. There's a system. If something God create or whatever's created on this earth, there's a solution for it. I don't watch so many people get cured of AIDS, and they said it was incurable. So and I think counseling is one of the things that can help. But we can't do modern counseling. Modern counseling ain't worked in all this time. You know what I mean? They started building facilities to help people with that and cancer, and guess what? They both grew more. You know what I mean? So, like one of my main theories for somebody that's on drugs is somebody that's on drugs. You always send them to a program. They give them a 12-step program. They give them this program. They never attack the diet. There is food that can actually help your withdrawal or make you don't want to use drugs. That right there is not going to be entered into the system.
Can you touch?
A lot of that too is mental. So when you're not only is like diets, counseling, but if you look in situations where people deal with substance abuse, they're surrounded by people that are all saying that it can't be done, that it's impossible, that they essentially breaking them down with their confidence to where they don't even have mentally the strength to get off anything that they're on. And I think our culture too is a lot of promotion of medication. They got a pill for everything now, and I don't know if that's the answer.
I can tell you right now, that's definitely not the answer, because if you got medication, is another form of drugs. If you go back in the 70s, sugar was known as drugs. So most of those pills got lactose, sucrose, fructose in it, which is another form of drugs. Back in the days, like I said, it was a drug. And like you said, you got all these type of commercials that'll say, take this medication, but they'll whisper the side effects of it. They'll be like, well, if you vomiting, throwing up, if you have chest pains or die. The thing about it, and the only reason I emphasize on the diet, because nobody incorporated diet, but like you said, it's the mental as well as letting people know you can do this. You know what I mean? When I used to be a drug counselor. My specialty wasn't about the drugs. I would show people drugs, and I would have them look up the ingredients of the drugs. I would have them see the effects of the drugs. After that, I would show them what it does to people, like maybe even take them to a hospital. But look, you can end up like this. And that's the normal step people take. But now this is where recidivism come in the jail system. What led you to the drugs? You know what I mean? Now that's why I specialize in, because once you come off of drugs, now you got to go back to how'd you get on drugs in the first place? You know what I mean? Then you get back to the mental or the emotional side, like I didn't have a father or I was abused and so forth. When you attack that core issue, that person wakes up on a spiritual level. he's not going back to drugs. And I had a good 89% rate, and that's, you know, an 89% rate of keeping people off of drugs just for that. And I wasn't even into the diet aspect. So incorporating the diet to certain food. Let's say you go to one of these places where they got they send these people that's on drugs or whatever the case may be, and put them on a vegan diet. Watch how many people come off that drug.
Wow.
Do y'all know anything about methadone clinics?
Yep. And about.
So here's another example where you have someone that's addicted to substance, and they're just replacing that substance with methadone, which is just as worse, if not more worse. And I don't know if that's, like, to me, that's not the answer. That's not helping them. And they're not really, like you said, getting to the root of the problem is, why are you even going to this in the first place?
I call methadone is legal dope. You got the Percocets, you got the methadones, and you got the dope. Whether so in the 70s they shot needles, now today it's pills. In between that 80s and 90s it was methadone. It's the same thing. The only difference is one get tax written off, the other one don't. They don't even reduce the dosage when you go into one of those methadone.
They actually promote it. So I've read into this.
I'm in Delaware. They got a big billboard.
So they promote it in the sense that you pay the exact same amount no matter the dosage. So what do you think is going to happen? Wow. They're going to go up on their dosage. Also, they never put a system in place where it's like, okay, you can't go up, and if you go down, you just have to stay at that, and we at least wean you off it. There's none of that. There's people probably that have been at the methadone clinic for 10 years, and these people are profiting off these people's addiction. They're not trying to help them get off it. They're making money off of them.
That's why it's legal dope. You see these guys that come home from jail, and then they start taking meth, then they put them in a methadone clinic, and then from a methadone clinic, they back in the street because they want something stronger. And then they go back in jail, and then from jail, they got these big billboards with Christiana, methadone. It's never being, and I had a friend that worked there. They will not say, okay, you get 8 ounce now, then you're gonna get 4 ounce, then you're gonna get 2 ounce. No, you get 8 ounce as long as you're there. So, and this is paid by insurance, mind you. This is a freaking insurance tax write-off. This is legal drugs. Period. Just like marijuana now. It's the same difference.
Yeah, this to me, it's I kind of wish more people would talk about it, because essentially you got one group of people going to jail, and then you got this group that's making money off of it. I mean, to me, they're no better than the drug dealer.
And I hate to say it like this, black and white. You got black people going to jail because these guys out there, and then you got the white people that's making it legal, just like when they made crack versus cocaine, because cocaine was a rich man high. So the music industry and all the executive was using coke, and they had to figure a way out. So they flooded Philadelphia, starting with crack. And they made, so you get caught with cocaine, you don't get time. You get caught with crack. So now you get caught with methadone or something like that, you don't get that much time. But if you get caught with Percocets or dope, you get more time. So it's definitely race bitten. But even outside of the race, it's separating. Like, to me, the sad part is that they just literally like selling the same thing, minus the race. Take the race out of the equation. They are selling the same thing they arrested people for. You know what I mean? You get caught in New York with a beer in public, you're going to jail, but they own all the liquor store. You get caught shooting dice, but they own all the casinos. You get caught selling drugs or dope, but they got the methadone. You get caught selling weed today. This shit is crazy. But they got all these places where they sell weed.
Yeah, there's definitely huge inconsistencies with the law. I'll give another example. Like you just said all those. Like, okay, abortions. If the mother went to go kill her own baby, she goes to jail. But if the doctor did it and he got paid to do it, it's fine. So for me, it's like, can we at least be consistent with the laws? Why are we picking and choosing, and they're contradicting each other?
Well, let me do a quick segue if I can, guys. As far as we were talking about the drugs. My question to you, Super Sly, is, and then we're gonna go to Drea. My question to you is, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with the popular YouTuber Boot Gang. I've personally never really, looked him up or searched him up on YouTube myself, but he's a popular YouTuber by doing a lot of pranks, a lot of jackass type, fuck shit. And my question to you is, there was an interview where he recently was on I'm not sure if it was recently, but he was with this YouTuber or content creator called No Jumper, aka Adam 22, and he was just really like, loaded. He was loaded out of his mind. And my question to you is, um you know when is it, I mean, is that a sad situation, or when is it a time when it's like, okay, you hold men accountable for being men, or is it really a situation that, do we not blame these children for what they're going through or the situation they're in, because, you know I guess we could say they don't know any better because they haven't been guided.
Um, yes and no. I'm always for the youth. I don't like when these old heads come for these new artists and they don't like the direction these new artists are taking it in, the music wise, the culture. And I say my response would be, well, some of y'all dropped the ball because you didn't guide these kids. You're too worried about your own success. But as far as Boom Gang, I don't care about the dude. Be honest with you. Let's hurry up and get him up out of here. I know it sounds harsh. I know he's still a kid, but the behavior is so extreme, and you just add to the narrative. So you just add to the stereotype. Young black men already have it bad enough stereotypically, and you're just adding to it. And you're not doing anybody any favors with this act that you're doing. So you need to go and get up out of here. That's how I feel.
And I don't want to interrupt you, but I think it's safe to say that men have to grow up way fast, especially black men. I don't want to make it racial, but I feel like men, and especially black men, have to grow up mentally and physically, quicker than a lot of other people. And my question is, when do they stop becoming kids in your eyes?
You know what? They really never had a chance to be kids. That's part of the problem because from birth, basically, they got a target on their back. Look what happened to Tamir Rice. I mean, he's 12 years old. We don't have little boys don't have the luxury of growing up like little girls, and the men in his family dropped the ball with him seriously. Um, but still, at the same time, no excuse at this point and at this juncture. Like you can't sit around and look at your situation and look at the impact you've created that you're leaving behind. It's either positive or negative, and his situation is overwhelmingly negative. Obviously, the people around him letting him, supply him with drugs and all that good stuff. I mean, that interview should be an eye opener, but it won't be because he'll keep doing what he's doing. He got shot twice, so everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's been shot. Let's pray for Boone." God, get that nigga up out of here, man.
Can you tell me a logical reason why people feel sad for him though?
His peer group does. I can't see older people in our age bracket feeling sorry for him.
That's a fact. Panel members, you want to touch on that?
I don't know too much about the story to speak on it, but I will say if it's something that's negative, like even us talking about him would just promote him. So yeah, I'm kind of I kind of have the similar pessimistic view. Like let's not promote someone that, especially if we know they're not doing right. A lot of that is like who is he around? Because he's
Right.
obviously around people that are promoting it. So yeah, a lot of that's who he's choosing to be around.
John, you got any thoughts on that? Or actually, Dre, you got any thoughts on that?
Well, I know nothing about this person, this rapper, whoever. I know don't even really know about the story or what actually happened. All I can say is a lot of people do stuff like that for social media, likes, views, whatever. And I feel like when you do and you put negative stuff out there, you get that back. So whatever this guy did, I'm actually on Google right now trying to look this stuff up about it. So um I can say when you do, like, when you put that energy out there, you get that same energy back. So it's something, I don't know, like what happened with Triple X or something like that were to happen to this person. There are gonna be people out there. Oh, he was a good dude. He was this. He was this. But apparently, from what I'm reading, he's like an internet troll. He's trolling people. He does stuff for, I
Right.
guess, for attention.
Exactly. Exactly.
I,
So if something were to happen to him, there's gonna be a lot of people out there like, oh well, like Super Sly was saying, like when they were talking about pray for Boom, like pray for him for what? He brought this on himself.
Right.
So I mean that's really my opinion on it. Like I said, I don't know too much about this guy or his story, so I'm just gonna leave it with that.
Right. And in my opinion, I just tend to naturally look at the big picture. And as far as his kid, he's a I mean, I don't know how many followers the dude has, but in my opinion, as far as the big picture, he just a lot of little kids idolize him and follow him. And God forbid I had a child that idolized the fuck shit and the behavior he does. I'd just be like, wow, like you're influencing my child and his peers to do a lot of stuff that can harm him or harm others for no real reason. I just at that point I'm just like, okay, if you're gonna do if you're gonna participate in some fuck shit or some dumb behavior, then let that be. You do that, do that, and you be your own victim of that. But once you start, influencing the masses, then it's like, come on, man. There's not, in my opinion, it's just like there's no time for that. And I'm with Sly. I'm just like, yo, just you need to go somewhere with that. Whatever happens to you, that's you. That's on you. And no disrespect. I'm not even gonna say any names, but I was in a live stream the other day, like I think yesterday, and it was just I was the only person in the chat that was like, he's a junkie. He's a junkie, and whatever, that's by choice. He's a junkie by choice. And this is his, here come the air quotes profession. So let him do him. But once he starts affecting, like I said, God forbid I had a child that, I instill in him, what he needs to do and how he needs to be in life, whatever. But he's on the internet looking at this kid, and like we all know, the most dangerous drug of this era is attention. So I'm just like, I can't subscribe to that, and I can't ride for that. I can't stand behind somebody that drags other people down with them. I just couldn't do it. That's just my opinion, though.
I'm a firm believer in karma. So if he's putting out whatever he's putting out into the world, if it was positivity, most likely he would receive positivity. I mean, if he's got people, trying to harm him, some of that I wouldn't say it excuses it, but some of it might be self-inflicted.
That's a fact.
I want to say, do any of you guys remember? I think he was a YouTuber at one point. His name was Messy Maya. If anybody remembers that guy, he used to do that thing. What we calling it, booking people or whatever. And he would go around like random people and just talk about them or clown them or whatever it is he did for YouTube or whatever that was. And I think the way I heard it was he was clowning some guy somewhere at a party or something, and that guy came back and shot him. And then of course his death video or death picture or whatever ended up on the internet afterward. He was
Wow.
bleeding out or whatever, and people were just taking pictures instead of actually
Wow.
helping him.
Wow.
So, but there were a lot of people who were saying, well, he brought that on himself because that's the energy he put out there, so he got that back. And then, of course, people were saying the same thing about Triple X. And, of course, people are going to say the same thing about this Bonk Gang person. If you put that energy out there, that's what you're going to get back.
Wow. You know, and Andrea, now that you say that, it's just that reminds me of the video I actually sent you earlier of the female that was recording, recording. I don't even know how to say this. She was recording herself, but in the background, I don't know. I'm gonna just say allegedly all over this. I don't know if it was a friend of hers or associate or a stranger, but there was another female getting raped, or it at least sounded like she was getting raped. And it's just like, how do you guys? What is happening in this era where instead of people, delivering a helping hand, right? It's just they pull out their cell phones before anything else, and what do the young kids call it? They try to get clout. How do you guys feel about that? What is happening?
Yo, I seen that video. The redhead, she had red or pinkish hair, and
Right.
the woman was clearly in
Slide.
distress. Yeah.
Slide. That shit was disturbing, man.
Oh, the sad part was the girl was either laughing or smirking. Like she was just like, I don't know if I should take this serious. Is it real? Clearly, the woman was distressed, and you can hear her yelling, scream, "Get off me! Stop!"
Right.
And the dude comes out, his pants or whatever the case may be. The even crazier part is, I guess the cops decided to not to pursue the case. They said nothing. Well, according to the witnesses, nothing happened. The girl said he wasn't trying to rape her. He was trying to choke her out and beat her up. Okay, like that's any better, but no charges will be filed in this case.
I could have sworn I heard in the video the girl that was screaming. She said they're raping me. Or
Yeah. Crazy.
Well, what I was reading on, like I was trying to follow that story, and they were saying that she was maybe having like a manic episode, and even I think even the police department came out and said that this was some sort of family dispute, and they weren't going to do any further investigation. I think they released some kind of statement about that. So even if it was like a manic episode or whatever, just the fact that you got this guy, I think they said he was an uncle or something. Um, why is you coming out of a room with your pants undone and you have what clearly looks like a hard on or erection, if I should say? It just really just doesn't add up. It's just something that's really kind of fishy about the whole thing.
That's a fact. No, I think that's the crazy. I remember one time, just a quick story for you guys. I remember one time I used to work at a movie theater. And we had all our coworkers, we had a pool party at one of our coworkers' house. And so, long story short, we went to the pool party, and a bunch of people were in the pool, and a bunch of people were by the bar. We were just having a barbecue also. And my manager was there, and her boyfriend was there. And her boyfriend was just talking to her crazy. He was calling her all types of out of her name in front of everyone. And the girl it was a white couple, and the girl was just, she just put her head down and she was letting him talk to her however she wanted to. So just me being me, naturally, I was like, and I'm not Captain Saver. But I was like, bro, just take that shit somewhere else or cut it out. You know what I'm saying? And he steps up to me, he slaps my whole burger out of my hand. I was kind of tight. I was like, damn, I just got that. I put some mustard on there. I'm hungry. Why you did that? You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I grabbed him up. I yoked him up, threw him to the ground, and everybody jumped on me. And I'm just like, why is everybody jumping on me? You know what I'm saying? And she knew what was up. She knew that I did the right thing, but I just couldn't believe, you know what I mean? Like, wow, everybody looked at me like I was the bad guy here. I don't know why I just told this story. Can somebody tell me what we were just talking about? But I just
part of the issue is, for us, like if we see some shit going down, normally we would like, yo, it's none of your business, walk away.
Right.
I can understand if the girl, if that's was her mindset.
Right.
The problem is, it's like I said, if for those that haven't heard or seen the video, you thought this girl was in immediate danger.
Right.
And it's like, well, okay, say something, do something, call
Right.
the cops.
Right.
But that's a no-win situation, But I would hate to think that if that was my daughter, someone would not help her.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Kind of what is that?
That's dicey, bro. It's dicey.
What is that?
Dicey.
And like,
because we've all been in situations where you play the good Samaritan and almost get you killed to a certain extent. And a lot of brothers dead or in jail behind being a good Samaritan. So this is the culture, unfortunately. I guess. I don't know.
And just to add to that, Slide, one of my best friends, big ass dude, he goes to the gym every goddamn day. He told me he saw a couple arguing, and the guy was putting his hands all over the girl. He was pretty much beating her. My best friend jumped in, he interjected, and then next thing he knows, the girl is stabbing him.
Wow.
And he's like, "Why are you stabbing me? I was trying to help you out." So, like, just going back to what you said.
Let me give you a quick story, Loki. When I was like 16, 17, and I was in Flatbush. That's why I was in Flatbush. And I seen this dude coming up the train. Mind you, back in those days, we was really with it. So
Mr. Hardy was with the shits.
Yo, we was with it. We came off the train. I hate to say this, but just to keep it all the way off the train, just robbing people. What I mean? We robbing train cars. So we come off the train, and I seen this dude like picking this girl up. He grabbed her, he punched her in her face. She fell on the floor, and then he picked her up again and slapped her, and she went like almost unconscious. Wow. You know what I mean? So my brother was like, "Yo, mind your business," and I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Yo, dog, listen, you could just take that in the crib, like."
Word.
You know I mean, so I say you could take. I really want to say like cause I got a sister and a mom or whatever the case may be, and this is before, but I was just more or less like you could take that in the crib. So he was like, "Oh, what you gonna do about it? What am I? I'm 16. This dude like 30 something. We commenced to scrapping and everything. I swear to God, if it wasn't for that old lady looking out the window, when the police came, she said, "I did that to her." She literally told the police, "Wow. I just beat her up." And that old lady came down and was like, "She's lying." I watched the whole thing. A couple other people came out and backed me up, and then they threw the cuffs on him. But if it wasn't for that, and it's sad because that was one of those, okay, you gotta mind your business. My brother said, mind your business, mind your business.
Wow. Well, see, you guys really just described why a lot of people don't get involved in other people's situations. Because sometimes you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And people are like, well, you gotta pick your battles, and sometimes you just crap out in that situation because if there was a case of if you minding your business and somebody ends up killed when you think, well, I could have helped that person, when you could have, but also you don't know, you could have got your ass killed too. So, like I said, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing.
God damn if I don't then.
But I mean, in that situation, like with whatever was going down in that home with the lady screaming in the background, I'm thinking I would have, me personally, but that's just me. I would have gone and tried to get into that room, like this ain't right. I don't know what's going on in there, but I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go see if I can help. Because I'm just not going to be on Facebook Live or whatever, like, just chilling, laughing about something in the background. That's really, who does that?
Mm-hmm.
That this culture, this generation today, they've got a Facebook, Snapchat, everything, instead of actually going and being of some freaking assistance. Then again, I'm clearly of a different generation. I'm a different breed because what they're doing, that's not me. That wouldn't be me.
I like what you said though. It's a it's a pick and choose. You gotta you could, like, now I'm able to see the difference. I could be like, okay, they probably going through this all the time. Mind your business, or this is not one of those cases, and I might jump to defense. But you're right, it's a pick and choose battle because you don't want to walk away and somebody died that you could have saved.
Right.
I wanna switch gears real quick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Van Lathan, but I guess he's a reporter for TMZ. He actually has, and this honestly blows my mind, man, to be honest with you guys. He has a podcast called the Red Pill Podcast. Now I don't know if you guys are familiar. Obviously you guys are familiar with this, but as far as the listeners, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the red pill and the blue pill. It goes back to the Matrix. Whole saga, whole trilogy. I don't honestly, in my personal opinion, nothing about Van Lathan says red pill. But as far as the topic I want to get into, Joe Budden actually called him a pussy for not reporting on the See the God situation. How do you guys feel about that when Joe Budden himself, which had he has a large, pretty large following on his podcast show, he himself did not speak on that situation, and both of them do business and also are friends with See the God. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't trust Joe Button report. Like, he's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Even when he was with DJ Academic, and he's the branded person of hypocrisy. Like, and like you said, for him to say what I think he got a bigger platform to See the God too. So he's a clown to me in a way, because he doesn't do what he expects people to do. Like, and he will throw people under the bus. He's a Virgo. A Virgo will throw you under the bus for things they don't do. He shows those qualities. Like, he will really come hard and be a disrespectful, not just addressing it, but he will address certain situations like this, disrespectful, like calling them a bitch. Like, hold up, wait up. I mean, it's not that serious. Like, you can report it. You can report it yourself. So that's an L for Joe Button. I don't even, and they cool. That's the funny part. Nobody know they cool.
Sly, how you feel about
that? Yeah, they're all hypocrites. I mean, at that level of the game, they're all brotherhood. Basically, they're not going to throw each other under the bus. That's what they're not going to do. I can't take Van Lathan seriously. I mean, he works for TMZ. That's CIA stuff. So, and then another thing I love what they do is whenever a movement gets pretty big, when the people start waking up, and they'll take the term like truther. Now they'll usurp that, or now they're taking the term woke. Or stay woke, they play with that. So now the red pill thing. So they're on top of it. They know people are waking up, but every time a movement comes along that's benefiting the people, they'll take the terms, have the people put their spin on it, and almost make fun of it to a certain extent. So now it's like, come on, the Red Pill podcast, like that nigga's so not red pill. It's not even funny, but that's what they do, and that's how they stay in control, especially when it comes to the media. As soon as they see the movement coming, they got to get ahead of it and usurp it, turn it on its head, flip it back around, and give it right back to us, and we're not even none the wiser.
And Sly, you agree that's a psychological operation?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I agree with him. It's reverse Matrix.
Man, how you feel about it?
Yeah, it's like he's trying to take the term and steal it, essentially. It's like, oh, I see this is getting kind of popular. Well, I'm gonna just jump on it, and hope no one notices or calls him out on it.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Si. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, that was it. I mean, it's smart. I mean, that's how they maintain, part of the control aspect of the media and part of the psyche of the masses. You see the wave coming, you get in front of it, and you flip it on its ear. And there it is there.
It's a fact. Dre, how you feel about that, Queen? Oh, shit.
How do I feel about what?
Well, how you feel about that this whole reverse Matrix tactic? How you feel about them, stealing? It's kind of like the pseudo truth. They're trying to, steal a narrative.
First thing, you might kill me for saying this, but I've never watched The Matrix. So this red pill.
Never watched The Matrix.
Oh, I can explain it real quick. So in the Matrix,
what?
Morpheus. Hold on. Let me
drop you off at a red box.
I told y'all. I said, don't kill me for this. Y'all will be laughing at me.
Drop you off at a red box. Man.
Okay, so in the movie, in the movie, Keanu Reeves gets offered a red pill or the blue pill. The blue pill, he stays in the Matrix, which is like fantasy land. If he takes the red pill, he learns the truth. And so what it is Republicans are known as red, Democrats are blue. So they're playing off this red pill. If you take the red pill, you'll learn the truth. That's where it comes from.
Okay. So I'm assuming we're all on the side of truth here. Like, don't everybody want to know the truth? It's like, if I'm taking it back to the whole Adam and Eve thing, when they had to learn the truth by when they bit the apple. But I mean, don't everybody want to be enlightened and know the truth?
Big facts, super facts. Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all can chime. You can chime in anytime on that, Matt.
What do you want me to say? What is it?
I was asking. I said, don't everybody want to know the
Well,
truth?
yeah, but so hey, I didn't create it. I'm just telling you that's what people are saying.
I'm
That's
gonna
what they're
have to go
referring
back. I'm
to.
gonna have to go back and watch the Matrix. There's like 3 or 4 of the
Just
Matrix.
watch the first one. The other ones are horrible. just watch the first one. That's all you need.
Now I wanna,
I think I've watched it like partially, but I've never seen it like all the way through. So I guess I should, put that on
gotta
my list.
listen. There's probably a red box at the grocery store right by your house, Drea. You slipping. You lacking right now. Go to Stop and Shop or Shop
I
Right,
don't
whatever
I
it
don't
is.
really like watch a whole lot of movies and stuff. So I guess The Matrix is one of those movies that just kind of slipped by me.
You gotta watch the Matrix. But I want to hop into 2 more topics. I'm gonna stop holding y'all hostage for the night. As far as this CT guy, just piggybacking off of this, as far as this see the guy situation, it seems backwards and it seems like it doesn't make any sense. But as far as public humiliation is this a part of climbing the ladder slide?
Yes, sir. It's what we would call a humiliation ritual. Fabulous had one. Bill Cosby clearly is probably the most a recent example of one. Um, that's just part of the game, climbing the ladder. It's newer. It's maybe 15, 20 years ago, not so much, but now it's either going to be you either get hit with taxes or you get a rape case or some child accusations. So there's like 3 or 4, 5 or 6 maybe main narratives they put on you to walk you through the garden uh, per se. For those that's in them Sonic lodges, they would know what I'm talking about. So they gotta shame you, put the apron on you, and then you kind of go through your chambers and your degrees that way and kind of earn your stripes.
But my question to you is, why do they want to humiliate these people if they still want the masses to idolize them?
Because at the end of the day, the people are still gonna worship them regardless. It's just that's just part of their. This is basically going through the chambers. It's really not so much for the masses. It's for them to show, to prove their loyalty, to prove their worthiness. If you can go through these certain adept chambers and kind of make your bones and earn your stripes that way. It just so happens that it works on us because now we're all emotionally invested into it, and then they play off our emotions. Case maybe because let's be honest, no one was checking for this case until Charlemagne brought it up himself.
That's a fact.
No one even knew about this. And so now they're like, okay, let's get ahead of it. Let's go ahead and put him through his paces sooner than later. Um, so yeah, that's the new wave right now. Either you're gonna get hit with some rape accusations, some messing with kids, how they did Michael. They put Michael through his rituals twice, and or you get hit with that tax lien like Ron Isley and DMX, and so they got different narratives to
Michael
put you through.
some kids. He made Thriller.
Well, see, that's the thing with Mike. That's the whole crazy thing. The whole crazy, those 2 kids, the parents that accuse him. Remember, he signed them to his label. Remember that rap group, the rap group called Quo. It was those 2 kids.
Wow.
It was those kids, the little white boy and the little mixed kid. And what parent in their right mind is going to sign you to the record label of the guy you're accusing that molested them? It makes no sense.
And I'm not sure if I heard it in your live chat, but I heard it from somewhere. They said the kids never came out as adults,
Never.
said anything.
The one white boy, he's a what is he? He's a dancer now, and he adamantly says Michael never did anything to him. Like
Wow.
he said that was all his dad. That was all his dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of what he said, I believe it's always like this. It's probably like a older than 600 ritual. If you go back to James Brown and a lot of people back then, but like the brother said, it's more in depth now. It's more deeper. It's more serious. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you see these people go through stuff and they don't really pay for it. So like I can even look at Tekashi 6ix9ine going through, something like that, because like out of all of this, like who's going to kidnap you, do all this and don't kill you? So it's a public shame, and it's actually made to keep dirt on you in the end. You know what I mean? We got dirt on you, and like he said, Charlemagne the God came out and said it himself. A lot of times, a lot of these things go down. It'd be like, for instance, let's take somebody like Bill Cosby. They always had that dirt on them. They could have, been hung. It might have just been that 20-year time, but sometimes, these guys are signing a contract for like 20 years to be renewed. Allegedly, sign a contract with Lucifer for 20 years, and then they got to re-sign their contract. And then all crazy stuff happened around that time. Crazy stuff around that time. Every 20 years, some people get 3 years, 7 years contracts or whatever. And allegedly, when they be selling their soul, they'll sell their soul or whatever. And when it boiled down, it really comes down to like a deep public shame in that, like he said, you got to go through in order to get that apron wrapped around you, in order to take it to the next chamber, in order to go to, when we used to be like, when I used to be a 5%er, you know what I mean? It was like, I learned that as a 5%er, they'll try to, bring you in at the age of 13 or 14. That's the same thing that go with the Masons, Illuminati, and all other groups. They, it's the ritual number 13. So when you go through your lessons, it's things you have to do. Like if you didn't know your lessons as a 5%er, you got to get that beat down. You know what I mean? As a blood, if you didn't go and cut somebody, or you let an enemy do something, you like literally get beat up in front of everybody. Back in the days, gangsters used to, do something real bad to not his leader, but the person that's under him. You know what I mean? In front of everybody. So it's equivalent to, okay, you got to go through this public shame in order for you to get up to, to the next level. And think about it. He got an HBO coming on. He got all these good stuff coming on, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they got papers showing that the DNA was negative when they could have been put that out.
But piggybacking off of that, they said they didn't even test him for blood or saliva.
Well, they said they got the results right now saying that he's literally innocent. So whether that was a manipulation or not, but it was just a recent report saying, look, the DNA test shows that he's innocent. Prior to that, they was like, well, they didn't match up his with the girls, and he's innocent. Somebody pulled the string on that. Somebody pulled the string to say, look, let's show the test results. So I don't know what kind of test results they didn't take, because the girl didn't give the consent to match her test, because she got a test results from the hospital showing that, she was touched. And then he got the blood and saliva and all that or whatever. But this new report shows nothing match. And one is inconclusive. The one that's inconclusive, it's not even inconclusive. One of the results shows that she was touched, but it's not his semen. All the rest of them said no match.
And Matt, let me ask you a question, bro. If when all this information came out 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks ago, why didn't he come out with this paperwork immediately? Why did he wait so long? If you innocent or something, why don't you just come out with the paperwork and say, here? No.
He was probably waiting he was probably honestly hoping that it went away. And when it didn't, then that's when he faced it, to be real. Like he probably was like, let me not even acknowledge that these people are talking about this. Let me not fuel the fire. Let me pretend this isn't a thing and hope it goes away. And when that didn't happen, then he's like, oh, now I actually gotta respond, because people are still talking about it.
I kind of disagree with that. You know why? He was just saying the dumbest things after this went down. And I kept saying, why you just don't shut up and let this thing die? You know what I mean? A lot of things was coming up from the past, but he was making recent statements, just to throw himself under the bus. And then, you know what? This whole topic just made me look at everything different now, because now we get back to the public shaming. Like, I believe he's still like, I don't take his apology sincerely. I think now was the time that you have to apologize. I think now was the time he was approved. I don't believe he had all his paperwork and one that could really, like, okay, the only thing I can understand is that she going to the Supreme Court. But prior to that, this was a whole joke to him. This whole thing was a joke. So I can't believe that he had all this. That's public information on top of it. So why he ain't been put that out there instead of skirting around, saying indirect things? He literally apologized to the female this time. Sincere.
That's because, so what I'm saying is he didn't do it till people pressured him to do it. That's why it took him so long. People had to pressure him into doing it.
I don't think people pressured him. I think somebody in the higher power was just waiting for the right time and say, okay, now you can release that paper. Now I'll get you that paper. Because he had enough pressure with getting fired with that petition. He had enough pressure with people calling the show. He had enough pressure with everybody putting this on YouTube. He had more than enough pressure. So I don't know who could have pressured him to say, look, release the paper. Anybody technically could have got that paper. Anybody could have got it. It's public information again.
So
there's a lot of people that's invested in Charlemagne. Charlemagne is going to be the new face of the Talented 10.
Politics.
So he is going to be the new Sidney Poitier, the new Harry Belafonte for our generation for the next 40, 50 years if he plays his cards right. So this reminds me of the whole T.I. situation when he got popped for the guns. Now you know damn well can't no convicted felon get probation for not only having suppressors but fully automatic weapons. So favors are old, and we'll see down the road how big those favors were for Charlemagne to walk away from this.
Well, let me ask you a question, Slide. I'm gonna go to Drea. Did we really, as content creators and everybody just that was sharing this information, did we really not have an impact at all, or was it somebody behind the scenes that had power that said, "Hey, look, this is what it is"?
At the end of the day, they pulled the strings for him. It's good that we raised awareness,
right?
But you even had content creators getting mad at Star for going after Charlemagne when that wasn't Star's intention. Star just, this is the same Star that broke the Bambaataa story. So how do we go from praising Star for talking about pedophiles to all of a sudden he's a bad guy for trying to expose Charlemagne? Like, no, Star just does what he does. Like he has his purpose, but
good brother. Let me jump on this one right quick. Now, yeah. I agree with like the way he brought it out. You know what I mean? And a lot of people was hating, talking about why you bringing this old stuff. Even the Booski 100 dude, sit down. Star was just interviewing a female. He made sure he cleared this up. He said, look, did I make you do it by my bad? Am I paying for it? Nope, or whatever. I'm just putting this out there. It is kind of suspect to bring this up so old. But I'm going to tell you one history Star got with. The way I looked at it is Star had a problem with I forgot the name of the radio station, and they took him to court before. So, like, if anything, I could see Star taking a shot at the radio and saying, this guy's the biggest guy, so let me take this guy out. This is going to take the radio station down. Because if he leaves, Charlemagne leave, that Breakfast Club is over.
It's a fact. They dry as hell without him.
But he had a problem. What's the name of the radio station again?
Power 105, Breakfast Club.
Nah, the owner.
iHeartMedia?
Right. He went to war with iHeartMedia before. So I could see Star going to war with iHeartMedia now, saying, let me take out the dude. You know what I mean?
He said they spent $2 million on him.
$2 million. They did too. They did. That was facts.
Well, damn, Dre, how you feel about it? I don't know. We already touched on it, but this is the last point, and we're gonna go on to the last point, and we're gonna be out. But is it ever acceptable for a 22-year-old to be hanging out with a 15-year-old? It's a lot of sympathizers out there for him, from a female aspect.
I don't even know what a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old would have in common to be hanging out or in the same. Unless it's like a mentor-mentee thing, there's really no reason, that should even a 22-year-old man shouldn't even be hanging out with a 15-year-old child unless it was for that reason. And even then, and in the same vein of mentorship, usually they would pair that 15-year-old with a 22-year-old female. Like I said, there's nothing a 22-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl have in common for them to even be around each other.
That's a fact. That's a fact, and I appreciate your insight. So shit, we're gonna get into this. It's gonna be the last topic. Um, but real quick, Sly, you still fasting?
Nah, bro, I broke it. I broke it 9 days, so I'm gonna go back and do another one starting tomorrow for another 5 days, and
Wow.
we'll just take it from there.
You went 9 whole days without eating food.
It honestly it wasn't bad. I just got to the point where I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat. I wasn't hungry. Once you can deal with the moderate hunger pains and the slight hunger headaches, that's like those first 4 days. After that, it's pretty much a breeze, to be honest with you. Yeah.
That's something I could never do. I admire people who do that. I couldn't do it.
The good thing about
for me, health wise, I couldn't do it. That would be dangerous for me to fast.
But that's deep, good brother. I did it one time, but the good thing about it is that it definitely flushes out from your body. So a lot of times it's not what you eat. A lot of people try to think of good things to eat, and they don't even know half of the food to eat. They think they eat something that's good without reading the ingredients. But I think I heard Dr. Sebi said one time, it's not basically what you eat, it's what you don't eat that's actually can cure sickness. Illnesses, give you more energy. Hey, you went 9 days too?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was crazy because like day 7, the cravings were like just I was wanting stupid foods like shit I've never eaten before, and I'm like, those are parasites, number of parasites, and like I just had to ignore them, and so yeah, I got through it. It was an adventure.
And the good thing about it changes your whole appetite too, because it's like stop eating salt for a week and go back eating salt. You're not gonna want as much salt. So
it's a fact. Last topic I want to touch on is this whole Tekashi 69 situation. If at first glance, when you look at him, with the pink hair and his whole demeanor, it seems like he's promoting this whole homosexual agenda, this whole whatever you want to call it. But my question to you guys is he trolling us? Is it? What do you guys think about this?
I don't think he's trolling. I think he's, like you said, promoting an agenda, because you had Young Ma first, you know what I mean? So he's the new Young Ma. They had a female rapper out of Brooklyn that's supposed to be a man. Now you got a man rapper from out of Brooklyn that's supposed to be a female. So we're getting back to the agenda of accepting things that's not the norm. And with Tekashi, like listen how deep this is. Okay, we talking about a dude that got that clown face. If you was to Google every horror movie that got a clown face, especially Jigsaw, I think that's the one he got. These clowns are made to clown people. So as his ritual, he's made to clown people. That's what let's the soul of that being to go around and clown people. Now, him promoting his agenda, you know what I mean? And I believe this might have been a ritual he went through, but he promoting an agenda that's not the norm. And then you look at a lot of people. Nothing against Marvin Gaye. Nothing. When I go back and look at Marvin Gaye or it was a group of rappers, and I look at those people, a guy Keith Sweat, and I go all the way back and I see the Eddie Murphy shirts they used to wear. Everybody was promoting that agenda. So, but now again, we're looking at the reverse matrix. We're looking at a guy being a girl, even you know what I mean?
Wow.
That's acceptable.
Wow.
That's going to influence a bunch of kids to say it's deeper than homosexuality. You know what I mean? It's deeper than that. It's just more or less, it's an agenda to accept. Like when they promoting drugs, they got rappers talking about Future said he don't mess with lean, but he's rapping about lean. You got Young Jeezy talking about shooting and killing a drug dealer, but he's bragging about his son going to school talking about my son ain't like that. See what I'm saying? But you promote it all to the kids. So yeah, I say it's an agenda he caught up in. You know, they all got their time to meet Lucifer. That's all I'm gonna say.
But Matt, let me ask you a question. How did they intertwine and convince everybody that this kid is a gangster, meanwhile sporting rainbow hair, and a lot of his if you look at his body language, just very feminine.
It's because he's not. I mean, essentially what we're seeing is everyone is fighting for attention. And so he's doing whatever it takes to get the attention, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. And when people give him attention for wrong things, that's just teaching him that not only is it okay because he's being rewarded for it, that he should just keep doing it. So as long as he's getting attention, yeah, I don't know. Like I even just think about the state of music right now, where record companies are now just signing people that have a bunch of followers. It's not even about music; it's just about attention. And then they like they were saying earlier, picking agendas. A lot of these agendas are based on keeping people, the public, stupid, keeping them down so they can have control over them.
That's a fact.
It's frustrating. I'm gonna be honest. it's frustrating to see. I'm like, please, like honestly, I don't know if us even talking about it helps, because I feel like, well, shit, now we're giving him attention more. So it's almost like the stuff we don't agree with, you almost can't even talk on it because now we're promoting them, and that's what they want.
That's a fact. Sly, I know you have a daughter yourself. Do you think that, and I'm not aware if your daughter listens to Tekashi or not,
She
but
better not.
do you think that he's truly having an effect on this younger generation as far as the children, or you think they playing along with him? You think it goes in one ear and out the other?
Oh no, they're definitely he's having an effect now, because nowadays with the kids, you hear the terms gender fluidity, sexual fluidity. They don't even differentiate between the sexes. They don't even consider themselves bisexual. They just be like, it's whatever. A lot of these kids don't consider themselves. They don't. The terms that we would give them, bisexual, homosexual, they don't even use those terms. They don't even consider themselves like that. And then, like the good brother said, the whole androgyny thing, that thing goes back to Little Richard, Elton John, Freddie Mercury from Queen, Annie Lennox from Eurythmics, Boy George. So they've always been pushing those boundaries with the androgyny look, between, crossing between the look between a man and a woman. And I will say that I'm glad that we kind of didn't fall for the Young and May thing. Like, she was hot for a split second.
I forgot she existed.
Right, but then people was like, wait a minute, nah, we ain't ready for all this. I mean, they tried it before. MC Light, the Brat, Latifah to a certain extent, but not like that. Like, niggas was like, no, we ain't rocking with this shit, man.
Word. Young and May fell off the face of the earth, but I did see Young and May on they coming out with another basketball movie, She Got Game or some shit like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, He Got Game, but all female.
Yeah, here's another thing about Tekashi. He just made a statement recently where he was like, I can't even, how many kids want to buy cereals, or if I want to do a kids cartoon, I can't even buy it because of what he was accused of. See what I mean? That's what they was aiming him for. But now, you know what I mean? They put, as you said, they put him out there for the. He's upset that he can't reach the 11 and 12 years old. He wants to reach the 11 and 12 years old. If I rap, I'm trying to reach hypothetically 25 and older. There's a rap, there's a a genre of a genre for anybody. So if somebody's 40 years old, they rapping, then rap to the people that's 40 and 60 years old. They catch on. If you're 11, rap to the people who talk about toys. If you're 20 something, then you should be rapping about school and getting money. If you're 30 something, you should be rapping about marriage or whatever. He's mad that he can't reach these 11 and 12 years old now. See what I mean? And it's made the hip hop, generation when they create these people, they be before like 10, 15 years ago, they were targeting the 15 or 14. They are targeting the 11 and 12 years old now. That's what I get from him. They targeting the 11 and 12 years old. So when you hear these kids listening to, and then the mothers approve, or the, even I'm gonna just say parents approve of it. This systematically goes into their head, and it creates it creates a different person in those kids. Because they be thinking, I need to get a gun, or I could be gay. What's wrong with me kissing a girl? What's wrong with me wearing these color hair and being gangsters? Look at Young Thug.
That reminds me of Gangstalicious too from the Boondocks.
I can't see those dudes as gangsters. I can't see Young Thug or all these new age guys as I cannot. I'm a Style P type gangster.
Oh shit!
I can't see that. I'm looking at them like I'm not arguing with these dudes. I would literally just slap them and tell them move on or whatever. And, this dude's on my he'll pull out what are you talking about? That's Young Thug. See what I'm saying? So you got this guy, like you said, look at his pose when he take pictures.
Very feminine. Very feminine.
But they got him talking gangster, rapping on some real Brooklyn rap. That's so somebody behind put the music there, they put the fingernail polish on them, and then they just gave them these hardcore block beats, and they just said, because like you said, Young M.A fell off the face of the earth ASAP.
That's a fact.
Even Nicki Minaj was one of them with her Barbie fans. You go back to her, she just got, then you got Little Kim, you got Foxy. They was always talking about getting they blank eaten, you know what I mean, or whatever. If you go back way before, you got Queen Latifah.
That's a fact. And Dre, I want to go to you. Lastly but not least, according to John Hardy, you're gonna be, you might fuck around and be a mother soon by the end of the year, according to your astrological reading from Mr. John Hardy. And my question to you is, if you were to have an offspring, the situation is, do you completely keep your children away from this music and these artists, or how do you prevent social media from raising your children?
First of all, what John Hardy said is not gonna actually happen. But
Graham, I just had somebody told me. I told them in April. I told somebody in April they was pregnant. They confirmed it today. They was pregnant.
Jesus.
Well, this is going to be that one exception the way you're going to be wrong. Because first of all, you have to have sex to get pregnant, but that's another story for another stream.
Definitely another story.
But to answer the question, I mean, hypothetically, if I was a mother and I had, children, little boy, little girl, whatever, I guess, like I said before, you really can't shield your children from everything out there in the world. There's gonna be outside influences, so you can't really protect them from everything or keep everything hidden from them. They're gonna find out one way or another. I mean, unless you homeschool your children, they're still gonna find a way to listen to whatever music. They're gonna discover it in one way. The only thing I can do is provide, guidance, understanding. I personally don't listen to this Tekashi person, but if my child came up to me and said, "Hey, mom, listen to this," and I don't like this man, okay, I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, we're not gonna play that in my house. I don't know what what you do outside of my house. I mean, if you listen to it somewhere else, okay, but in here we're not gonna play this. I can try to be understanding and try to listen to it and see what kind of enjoyment they get out of it. But you know, like I said, you can't protect your kids from everything. All you can do is kind of like provide them with a blueprint. You can try to guide them, and hopefully they listen to you. And you know, like I said, if I had children, that I'm just gonna have to keep the dialogue open, communication open.
Facts.
Well, you better get that dialogue ready by the end of this year. One coming.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Oh shit.
Stop trying to wish pregnancy.
Hey, listen, if you're not having sex, you ain't got to worry about it, right?
Right, but still, even still, like you know, if I get horny one night and I just have to have it, I mean,
That's when that girl gonna pop up.
um, I always I always preach, if you're gonna do it, be safe about it. Safe sex. Everybody out there listening in YouTube land, safe sex all the way around. But like I said, you know, don't wish that on me.
Listen, family, I want to thank all of you, Dre from the Bay, Super Slide 75, John Hardy, MAT Matt. I want to just truly say genuinely, like I said off air, I'll say it on air. I appreciate all of you guys, and you know, all of you kings and queens are enlightened souls and spirits. And you know, when I looked for that enlightenment, when I look for that knowledge, you know, I reach out to you guys, man, and like I said, this is it for me, man. You know, I feel like I made nigga, we made it. That's me right now. I feel like I made it right now, just being able to reach out to you guys and talk to you guys. So we're gonna go down the road. Drea, tell them where to find you at, Queen.
Well, I'm usually on Twitter, and I can be found at Indelible D, capital D. So that's where you can find me. Not nowhere else. I'm kind of exclusive like that. So just holler at me on Twitter.
There we go.
Super Slide, tell them where to find you, sir. I mean, they already know where to find you, but shit, fuck it.
Yeah, just find me on YouTube, man. Super Slide 75.
Big facts. John Hardy, sir, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/King John 2020.
MAT, let's go.
You can find me on Twitter. That's MAT_YOU.
Big facts. Real Rap episode 6. I appreciate everybody coming through. You know, I want you guys to hit that like for all these kings and queens in the building, man. Only you can get this, you know, this type of content on Low Key T Live. I want to clap it up for all of y'all, man.
I got a quick question.
What's good?
Matt.
What's up?
It's your birthday.
Oh no. I got warned about this. I got warned about this.
Don't fall into that trap.
Just give me the month.
October.
That's not bad.
Oh shit.
That's not bad. You was a little frustrated a couple of days ago, but that's about to go away. So you're all right. About 2-3 days ago, and if not yesterday, you was a little frustrated. That's about to disappear.
Well, shit, Sly, you up for a reading?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sly, when your birthday, good brother?
July 9th.
Shit, July 9th.
Yeah, that's that.
Shit, Sly is summer baby.
Right.
Okay, if y'all doing readings, I'm gonna hit up the virtual church finger and excuse myself.
Oh shit.
Good brother, July the 9th. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if you move, but you really hard with your family. You're a protector, you're a provider, you're kind of quiet with your family. You don't like telling your business outside. You're probably watching the way you eat and stuff like that. You're going hard on the way you eating and probably working out. And I feel like there's something like might be draining your emotions or money. Something draining your emotion and money.
Shit. All right, don't say no more. You right. Don't say nothing else. I'm sold.
You gonna have a lot of family hitting you up. Like you might ain't speak to in a minute if they ain't hit you up already. So get ready for that.
I'm impressed.
Watch out for your stomach issues.
Oh shit.
stomach issues. I can see y'all got those stomach issues, Mr. Hardy.
Huh?
I said, I said, you know, I said you talking about the stomach issues again. I guess a lot of us on this panel got those stomach issues.
Nah, Matt don't got no stomach issues. and I ain't got no stomach issues.
I don't have no stomach issues either, but that's, you know, just like the pregnancy, that's what he put out there.
That might be your stomach issues.
No, it's not.
Oh my goodness. Hey, so do you need to know the month?
Look, I was just in the hospital a few weeks ago. They did, I guess, was a routine pregnancy test, and it confirmed I am not pregnant. Okay.
You and 75. Y'all just gotta like drink more water. That's all.
Duly noted.
Yeah, y'all both gotta drink more water because y'all like water signs. So water and oil don't go together. The oil you eat, but you're not gonna stop eating oil, Dre. You're not getting rid of oil. He will. He's gonna go hard on his workout and everything.
I mean, for all you know, I could be a lesbian.
God damn, Dre.
If I, you know what? If I say if you're not even gonna admit nothing. You're not even gonna admit nothing. If I you're gonna be like, nah, that's not me, but I am like this, and then.
Hey, so do you just need to know the month, or do you need to know the day? How's all that work?
What day is it? What day are you?
So I'm 27.
All right, so
October 27.
So you love helping people like with cookouts and stuff like that, family events and stuff like that.
Cookouts.
Yeah, cookouts, parties. He love helping. He'll go cook. He'll go bring the food or whatever the case may be. So he do a lot for people. He got a lot of family way about him or whatever. But you the black sheep of your family.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you the black sheep. You actually try to take care of everybody in the family, but probably don't really get blamed, if not get blamed for things or whatever the case may be. But you can snap out too. Like you a calm dude, but you can snap out in public. You'll snap all the way out. But if you're not working, I will focus on that and any home issues you got coming around and anything to do with your family. I would definitely like focus on yourself right now because I got a feeling you're gonna be running to help the family and stuff like that. And if you got any like family related, you're gonna have like one crazy one come your way in the next week.
Oh shit.
It already happened. It came last week.
That was it. That one. Leave that one alone right there. They're gonna keep going. Yep. That one. Focus on yourself. Stay away from that crazy one. It's like one real crazy one, and then at the end, like a month from now, they all gonna be blaming you. They're gonna be saying it's your fault when you were just trying to help. So I'll say take this next 30 days to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself and try to avoid public because you can snap out in public.
Well, shit. Listen, family. I want to say this. I'm live stream is pretty much over. But what I want to say this, if anybody wants to spend at least another, 10, 15 more minutes just chatting it up with me, we could do that. But I know it's Sunday night, man. Shit, I know it's 11:30 on the East Coast. If y'all guys got to get up and go to work, man, salute to you, man. I definitely appreciate everybody that came through. But if y'all want to chill out with me for a little bit more and we can just talk about some real shit, man, I'm down for that too. But if you got some shit to do, man, salute to y'all, man. And you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do, family.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way out. I just want to say good night to everybody. It definitely appreciate you, good brother, and I appreciate everybody that's on this panel. I appreciate Drea for having a girl in the next 2 months from now.
Okay, I know you can't see it, but I wrote.
I'm telling you, you know what? I can't. Let me put it like this. I'm gonna get cocky. I'm gonna be around when it happens. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be on this live one day. Like, I hate you. You jinxed me.
No, you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna come find you at the end of this year, and I'm gonna show you my flat belly and be like,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Oh shit.
75, 75. I'm gonna link up with you, good brother.
Please do. Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Matt, I got you too, man.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate all you guys, man. Good night, guys.
Nice.
Good night, man. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too.
All right, good night.
Yeah,
You
I'm gonna get out. Yeah, I gotta go be dad. You know how that is. So, but no, brother, thank you. I look forward to doing this again with you. So, just hit me up whenever, and I'm there.
Yeah, I just want to say I hope you enjoyed yourself, man. I tried. I tried. I'm not the best moderator, but I tried. I tried, sir.
No, as long as you get it in, that's all that matters, man.
It's a fact, man. Be safe out there, man. I appreciate
Yes, sir. You too.
Salute.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Real Rap episode 6. It's low key. I appreciate everybody in the building. I love all of y'all and shit. This for me personally. This is like a goddamn damn near dream come true, man. I'm able to link up with enlightened soul spirits like John Hardy, Drea from the Bay, Super Slide 75, my boy Matt, my other boy High Reacts, my other boy Ikit Mel. I mean, these are people that I look to for real life enlightenment. I don't idolize celebrities. I don't do that. I'm over that. I idolize people that, found discipline within themselves and took it upon themselves to, go within. And those are the people you need to idolize. You need to idolize your peers that put in that work, that put in that discipline. You know what I'm saying? To reconnect with their soul and their spirit. You understand? Because in the next life, you're going to need that. So with that said, I love y'all. I fuck with all of y'all. Look, even if you hit that like, I love you. Hit that dislike, I love you. You feel me? So shit. On the next episode of Real Rap. It's low key. Be safe, everybody.